Many thousands of years ago, men and horses crossed paths. This gave birth to the advent of civilizations that conquered the world. These days, machines have almost wiped them out, but that's just an illusion. Because our planet in reality remains Planet of the Horses. Eat. Well, are you going to eat? Yes. You can, of course, feed a horse in a field too. But it won't be satisfied with grass alone. We will tell you all about this in our equestrian hiking episode. Horses living with private owners.
Today we're going to head out on an equestrian hike. Find out what mini horses are.
The wheels on the carriage go round and round, round and round.
And check out the most extreme kind of equestrian sports.
Horsey! 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 Horsey!
Enjoying the echo atop a mountain is an incomparably joyful sensation. Horseback hikes along mountain trails are one of the most popular kinds of equestrian hobbies nowadays. A horse is everything at once here: a conductor, a vehicle, and a personal trainer. In the mountain ranges of Russia, particularly in Altai and of course in North Caucasus, technological progress hasn't diminished the historical role of the horse as the main mean of off-road transportation. It's interesting. At one point, a whole division of mountaineer riders served in the Tsar's army. Historically, they were called the Savage Division and were famous for their incredible bravery. They consisted of 22 officers, 3 military officials, and 1 regiment mullah. Images of Christian saints were absent on the crests these cavalry warriors were decorated with. There was only one exception: George the Conqueror on the famous George's Cross. It was initially replaced with a 2-headed eagle, but the mountaineers soon sent a request to the commanders to return the real Jigit, Kazakh horsemen, to the crest. Real Jigits live in the Karachay-Cherkessia mountains, and even now, if you ask them nicely, they will happily take even a novice up on a mountain hike.
Alexander and I are occupied with something very interesting today. We're going for an equestrian hike into a canyon.
These are the Honey Waterfalls, the mecca of equestrian hiking.
Yes.
For those who want to ride energetically, actively.
While only an experienced and self-confident rider, familiar with the trails and route, can go on a solo hike, in a group where many horses travel together in a caravan, their pace is set by the rider riding upon the first horse, usually an instructor. The horses line up behind each other, eliminating any chance that even the most inexperienced rider could stray or lose their way.
Katya, how are you enjoying our first mountain hike?
To be honest, I'm completely overwhelmed. I feel like I'm going to cry because the trail is so narrow for even a human to pass alone without running into some trouble. But a horse goes and just...
And carries you like a crystal vase.
Carries me like a crystal vase. That's right.
Horses of the Karachay breed have been bred specifically for the purpose of traversing these mountains. And it's the only breed that has ascended Elbrus.
Yes.
Tolstoy and Lermontov praised them specifically when they wrote about the horses of mountaineers, which Russian officers preferred to their own thoroughbreds because these horses can climb over rocks like monkeys, as you have seen.
And as you ride along the mountain trail and see these overwhelming views of the Caucasus, you start to understand why Lermontov wrote his poems and all the other poetry the Caucasus have inspired.
The Karachay breed is vivid proof of the fact that it's possible to keep national property without resorting to desperate fundraising or oppressive state aid. You just need to appreciate your ancestors' heritage, love horses, and, most importantly, find a good occupation for them, even in the 21st century. The Karachay breed is the best in the world for equestrian hiking.
I recommend equestrian hiking to anyone who appreciates natural beauty. Of course, you could familiarize yourself with the wildest of places from the comfort of an SUV, or even from a helicopter. But if you don't want to be hindered by the sounds and smells of mechanical devices, if you want to feel like a part of nature and improve your health, equestrian hiking is for you. And as you gallop over a mountain plateau, you will feel just like an eagle.
Besides the Karachay breed, one of the most popular breeds in the Caucasus is a Kalteka horses, known by their rich appearance. You can find those horses from the Pontic farms of Adagia and Kabarda in the west to Caspian Dagestan mountains in the east. Of course, these horses are very famous in their homeland, in Middle Asia. Wildlife photographer Athar Baboyev's specialty is the horses of this breed. His interest in photography started as a hobby, but has gradually become his main profession. Do you have a choker? No choker, but there should be a dagger. No, you need the full set. A sheepskin hat, a dagger, and a choker to wear while in the saddle and cresting over the hilltop. That would be nice. However, a Kalteka horses caught his interest not because they are financially valuable, but because they are perhaps the most expressive breed from an aesthetic point of view. To take a look at the place where these beauties are raised, our expert, Alexander, and his assistant Katya visited the pastures of the 170th Stavropol horse racing farm.
We've come to see the Kalteka horses. The horses which were given to kings and princesses as gifts.
They're royal horses, right?
It's probably better to ask Alexander about that. Whether these are royal horses, of the sheikhs or sultans, I have no idea.
An Kalteka thoroughbred was initially developed as a military horse in South Turkmenistan at the Akal Oasis by the Tekker Turkmen tribe. That's why it's named the Kalteka breed. First of all, the breed is very ancient. It is a direct offspring of the Massagetay, Parthian, and Nizian horses. Those horses, this breed, has hugely affected the world horse racing. They go back even further in history than the breeding of Arab horses or English thoroughbreds. Essentially, it's the world's most ancient cultural lineage. Like I said, they had been bred mostly for military applications. It's worth mentioning in regards to the famous Tekker Regiment. There was a regiment where mostly Tekker Turkmen served. From two modern-day villages, Ashkabad and Marian. It was an elite Russian army regiment that had become famous on World War I battlefields. Then they remained loyal to General Kornilov and
Died in battle.
died, but remained in history, remembered for riding their wonderful Kalteka horses, and made daring attacks against Austro-Hungarian infantry and cavalry alike. And they proved the outstanding capabilities of Kalteka horses. There is an English saying, "A good horse has no color." It means a horse can be a good horse no matter what color its coat happens to be. But Kalteka horses have become popular all over the world thanks to the diversity of exotic coat colors, unachievable in other breeds.
You know, Kalteka horses, much to their luck, have become a very prestigious breed. The fact that they're beautiful is obvious. But prestige is sometimes manufactured by elite owners. You see, somebody needs to get a trend, right? Alexander said that Hajibek, an offspring of Piaster, had been recently presented to the king of Bahrain, indicating that the country should be proud of a horse bearing the name of that breed. Well, we surely couldn't present an Arab horse to an Arab king. We probably could present an Arlov trotter with all of its fame and glory. But what would an Arlov trotter do in Bahrain? And I guess the Kalteka horses left their offspring there. I hope they were placed in worthy conditions.
The same way that cats had once been catching mice in barns, but over time became pets, horses nowadays have firmly inhabited the role of companion animals, not just as vehicles, but also as friends. Not only that, but any horse can be a pet, whether it be a full-sized horse, a pony, or even a mini horse.
I present to you... Oh, excuse me. Donut. A Shetland pony. He is here with us through very touching circumstances. Our youngest son, Daniel, after visiting our equestrian farm, came to us with a business offer. He said, "All the girls look at the foals and ask, 'Are they ponies?' We must broaden our business and acquire some ponies." And that's what got me started looking through ads to find one.
Next, we are going to find out how much smaller mini horses are compared to ponies,
Actually, they differ only in name.
and go for a ride with an inflatable sled.
Now let me tell you how to control a horse while on a horse riding expedition. Expeditions differ greatly from a show ring. Here, a horse may encounter many frightening or tempting factors such as grass, fellow horses, or motor vehicles, not to mention many unknown objects. That's why you have to control a horse with a much heavier hand than if you're in a show ring doing fine, elegant haute elements. So a turn is executed with both hands. One hand pulls the reins toward where you're turning, while easing off the opposite side with the other hand. If you want to go left, you pull the left side, easing off the right so the horse has enough slack to turn its head. It's important to make sure that we can stop the horse at any moment. For that reason, you can lean back, pull the reins, and pull the horse back. It will understand this command as a command to stop, or to go backwards if we're already standing. And now the easiest pedal, the gas. To give the command to go forward to a horse, you just have to bend your upper body forward. The hands, as you might remember, ease off the reins, and the legs go slightly backwards and squeeze the horse's sides. Here we go.
It's hard to imagine, for example, a Vladimir draft horse, which is kept by its owners just to chat with and take long walks together. So horses which are treated only as pets aren't usually very big.
Today, I have a very delicate job. I'm carrying a little colt, of course, under the mother's careful supervision. She is standing there not too far away and watching everything I do, but I'm very careful anyway. It's like a sweet little baby. Let me put you down. That's it. Go on, sweetie.
Ponies and mini horses are a subspecies of the domestic horse. Its main features are its small stature, strong neck, short legs, and good stamina.
Well, I'd like to introduce you to Chica, his mother.
Oh boy. Please tell me, how do they differ from ponies, these sweet little horses?
Actually, they differ only in name because physiologically they are absolutely the same little horses. Just the height is smaller. So there are two miniature breeds in the world. This one is an American miniature breed. This one here is an example, and the other ones are Falabellas. This is a representative of the breed. Falabella.
If I'm not mistaken, it's only 15 inches tall,
Yes,
right?
14 inches is the record.
Conventionally, all horses below 30 inches are considered mini, and between 30 and 55 inches are ponies. It's common in Russia to relate horses of the Shetland, Wales, Iceland, Falabella, or American miniature breeds to ponies. Originally, ponies were developed and used to fulfill serious jobs. For example, Shetland ponies back home not only pulled carts full of children in the Park of Culture and Rest, but also moved heavy wagons of coal deep underground in English mines for centuries.
And tell me, how does dressage for such little horses differ from dressage with big adult horses?
It doesn't differ at all, actually, because they are the same horses. They have the same cognition as adults, big full-size horses. That's why the basic first steps are the same. That means they are consistently adapted to working with people at a young age, then carefully, so they aren't startled, introduced to the carriage, and so on from there. Actually, there is absolutely no difference at all.
And handling them, is it more complicated than...
I would say it's actually easier.
Yeah, really?
Yes, because they occupy less room and they eat less feed
You can
abroad.
pick it up should anything happen.
You can pick it up should anything happen. Yes, people abroad try to keep them in their homes as pets.
But nowadays, these horses have to work too. People have recently discovered that they can use mini horses as guides for blind people instead of dogs. Ponies will always be trotters for young children. Their job is not just to entertain children, but also to train them.
This is a mare of the ride pony breed.
What does ride pony mean?
The breeds,
It's a mix.
these are ponies that are fit for horseback riding.
Yes. We have Maggie work with children. She
Jumps?
jumps, yes, and takes part in children's dressage. That is, doing recreational children's rides.
Ride ponies are pretty big horses, and some kids go in for really serious sports atop them. Even the smallest horses rarely limit themselves to just recreational and decorative functions though.
This is an Appaloosa pony named Donatella,
What a beauty.
with a Donatelling.
And she's not alone. She has a son.
Oh my god, Donatella. Gosh, it's a Dalmatian horse.
These aren't just decorative horses. Children under 7 can ride them. And again, they can be used to pull carts. Or a carriage.
Yeah, just a mini carriage?
Yes.
Oh, a sweetie.
Have a good day.
That's it. Oh.
These little horses are always getting harnessed up, participating in shows, riding, and even performing in westerns abroad. The small horse fad has gradually come to Russia.
The wheels on the carriage go round and round, round and round.
There is a wonderful equestrian hobby for those who like riding with the wind in their face, skiddering. It's a hip hobby gaining in popularity, a fun kind of equestrian activity. Skiing or snowboarding behind a horse. Presently, equestrian skiddering exists in 2 variations. Either a skier is pulled by a horse with a rider, or the athlete manages the horse with his own reins. Great skill and mutual understanding are required from both the horse and the human. Many equestrian clubs offer such entertainment, but it isn't appropriate for novice riders.
Alexander has prepared some final exam for me. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but he said it would be a lot of fun. So I'm waiting.
Skis or a snowboard can be replaced with an inflatable sled. And there is another way for a rider to rest and improve their health. For those who dislike fast riding, it's called hippotherapy.
Oh my, hello. We've come to you.
Hello.
That's Dre Alexander again. Won't tell me why we've come here.
Well,
Keeping things secret.
Layla, the Hunting Yard Equestrian Club will show us how a horse can help our health.
We will show you how a horse can help improve your mood and enjoy your life, and unconditionally, of course, become healthier, naturally.
Well, horses always improve my mood, but improving my health is more interesting. The intrigue is starting. How interesting.
A horse can help you get injured pretty quickly, but improve your health.
A horse is a very positive creature. It is a herbivorous animal, so basically a very positive effect on the human organism can occur. And not only when a rider sits atop them, but just during simple communication as well.
So you communicate.
Our horse doctor today is Baikal, and he will help you to feel everything firsthand.
So that's the reason.
And that's why he is really already an experienced professional.
You brought me here, Alex. I'm going to have a hippotherapy session. Wait, where's the saddle?
A saddle is not required for therapeutic sessions. We will try riding the horse without a saddle. We put a horse blanket and a girda, special handles to help you keep balance on this back. We are putting on the bridle so we can go out to the training area.
We're going out. Well, come on.
Health-improving riding and hippotherapy is a very broad concept. It appeared in the middle of the 20th century when people started to understand that horseback riding can help with rehabilitation after an injury or a car accident. Usually, therapeutic riding is prescribed for problems with the musculoskeletal system, spine, and back pain. Children with cerebral palsy and young patients on the autism spectrum also participate in this treatment.
He's so warm. I didn't know that horses are so warm.
Body temperature of horses is higher than the human average. While we are at 98.6 degrees, horses have a temperature around 99.5. That's why when we mount a horse without a saddle,
It's so nice.
it's really like a stove.
God, why hasn't anyone ever mentioned this before? It's so good.
Besides the patient, several people participate in the session. There's a trained horseback rider who controls the horse, an instructor, and an instructor's assistant who helps control the rider.
Let's say your spine is working wrong and basically it's uncomfortable because the rider can't relax at all. All the horse's movements are absorbed into the back very sharply and stiffly. That's why our backs must be straight, our spine must be like a spring, sort of like a question mark, to compensate for this movement of the horse's back.
Yeah, I think the question mark along my spine.
Put your hands on his shoulders
Like this?
and holding yourself at that.
With my legs.
With your legs, yeah.
Uh-huh.
That means trying to keep.
That is, just so nobody thinks that this is easy. This incline, I feel all my back muscles involved. Even those which in my everyday life I guess I didn't know existed. It's just equestrian fitness.
Of course, horses participating in hippotherapy sessions pass special testing. Horses are selected not by their looks, but by their tempers. No trotter that claimed medals at the hippodrome is able to become a doctor later in their declining years.
As of now, hippotherapy isn't an official method to rehabilitate athletes or children suffering from muscular skeletal injuries. Hippotherapy, in fact, is still outside the law because our physicians can't directly prescribe hippotherapy. Like other medicine, they can only advise. We advise you to try horseback riding. But hippotherapy is acknowledged all over the world. It is absent so far, at least in Russia, from the Register of Rehabilitation Measures. But a horse is such a universal workout machine that means we can use physical capabilities of the horse for good. Hippotherapy has no concrete age limitations, and parents very often write to us and ask, when can we come and meet with a horse? And we answer, the sooner, the better.
Ponies haven't always been just toys for kids or entertainment for adults. Originally, they carried out hard work in the terrible conditions of English mines, pulled wagons along narrow and low passages where bigger horses couldn't fit in. And the English miners themselves discovered that if they gave their horses 2 days off a week instead of only one, as they had previously worked, their horses would live much longer. That's how we got a 5-day work week. They are the ones we must thank. Yes, Comet? Come on, move your legs, huh? Dummy. Move your legs.